to another exciting week of Brawl Stars action. Now you can probably tell my digs look a little bit different, and that's because I'm here at the ESL studios in Burbank. Now last week, a third region, North America, joined the fray. Tribe and STMN Esports, names that you'll recognize from EU, both have squads in NA as well, and they're at the top of the leaderboards. So let's dive into how Cup 1 played out. In the finals, we saw STMN take on another North American powerhouse, Vatra, and round 1 was a hotly contested game of Hot Zone. While Vatra kept it close into the mid-game, STMN answered back with a confident late-game skirmish to secure the final percentages needed to win. Behind 1-0, Vatra bounced back with an absolutely dominant performance in game number 2. They held STMN to only 29%. They evened things up in round 1 and showed they have what it takes to compete. But just as soon as it looked like they had STMN figured out, Vatra found no quarter in game 3 of Hot Zone against the powerhouse of STMN. In a nearly identical reversal of the scores, Game 3 went 100 to 33% in favor of STMN and the series went 1-0. We moved on to play some fan-favorite Brawl Ball in round 2, and Vatra showed no hesitation in forcing a very favorable overmatch in the first 90 seconds of play. Juan Carlos was basically able to walk the ball in off the back of Vatra's push up the middle with a beautiful 3-angle split to converge on the goal, and the first game went to Vatra. STMN played things slowly with a unified push down the middle as the match approached 90 seconds. While Bobby keeps Juan Carlos occupied, Czar and OG were able to push the right side all the way to Vatra's goal and kill Pain off spawn to score a textbook goal. STMN kept the momentum going strong into Game 3, putting up a 36-second goal that would secure them the win. Vatra would see only one good opportunity to attack STMN's goal, but it came too late, and they were able to hold them off with a firm defense. With that win, STMN take the top prize in Cup 1. But that wouldn't be the case for Cup 2. Remember that team I told you about earlier, Tribe Gaming? Well, they actually beat STMN in the semis of Cup 2, and then guess who they faced in the finals? None other than Cup 1 runners-up, Vatra. With back-to-back performances like this in a Cup Finals, this is definitely a team to watch out for. In the first game of the Cup 2 Finals, we watched them face off in Knockout. With a powerful 2-1 split on the left side of the map, Tribe was able to easily pick up the first 2 rounds for a 2-0. In the second Knockout match, Tribe Gaming once again got on the board early, but Vatra began playing together and were able to grab round 2 with 2 players left alive. Round 3 was hard fought, but it went into a 3v2 as Vatra zoned out Tyrant with some bombs on the left side. Tribe immediately made it a 2v2 with Juan Carlos hanging on for dear life. Pain was in great shape though, and they were able to win the 2v1, taking game 2. Tribe went back to their 2-1 split on the left side and had some early success picking up round 1. However, in round 2, Vatra took a much wider spread, putting RBM in the top left to zone the left side, while Juan Carlos and Pain applied pressure from right mid. Tribe forced them back to a right versus left fight, but Vatra had become aware of Tribe's strats and decided to secure the middle of the board while pressuring Tribe players off the top and bottom of the play area, taking round 2. Round 3, Vatra showed up huge and clean sweeped Tribe to secure a 1-0 lead in the overall score. We then moved on to Hot Zone, a game mode that Vatra had some trouble with the day before versus STMN. This time around, they seemed to have a much better strategy, having their players split and zone angles on the right while securing mid and eventually taking over the bottom zone to win Game 1. Tribe Gaming adjusted their strategy for Game 2, controlling the middle of the field instead of splitting off to the sides as heavily. Vatra was able to secure 50% by mid-game, but Tribe would not let them extend that lead as they simply dominated the field for the second half. Game 3 started off slow, with both teams posturing for a mid and late game push. Off the back of a team wipe, Vatra was able to push well into the 60% range as Tribe could only watch with sub 50. Tribe then committed everything to taking the top zone, pushing right up to Vatra's doorstep and managing to overtake their lead. With no time remaining in the match, Vatra could just sit and watch as Tribe ticked up to 79% and won on time. Tied 1-1, it all came down to Brawl Ball, which was also a back and forth in the first 2 games. In Game 3, a failed attack by Vatra opened the door for Tribe to push up, with Zulon and Tyrant charging ahead of RBM. Tyrant just needed to get in range of the enemy walls in order to hit a sweet bounce shot for the goal. With time running out, Vatra pushed again but failed to crack the defensive line of Tribe Gaming. Zulon gave Tyrant a few seconds to get into position and then hit a perfect pass, allowing Tyrant to grab the second point and the match. As these three teams continue trading cup wins back and forth, they're already creating a clear three-way race for first, with the rest of the leaderboard looking up and wondering how to catch them. Look at that. Third place has twice as many points as fourth and is only 5 points behind the tie for first. Now, so far, the Asia-Pacific region is just as hotly contested as NA is already turning out to be. So I'm going to take a load off and turn it on over to Victor Cax for the latest update.
Time has come for the era of everyone. Snapdragon Pro Series presents the Brawl Stars Asia Pacific Open Qualifiers Week 3. Big developments this week as Reconic Esports faces up against Zeta Division 1 in the round of 16. Reconic held off 1 right up until the map begins to close in. Troy Yi successfully dodges most of the damage hiding in the grass until pouncing in the last moment onto the weakened Moyagoku for the first point. In the next fight, Zeta overextended himself, leaving his team vulnerable, and Reconic proceeded to clean things up with ease. Round 1 goes to Reconic Esports. The second round saw Zeta Division 1 fight back well. Strategic placements of overgrowth and sandbags allowed 1 to control the battlefield, and Troy's magic hand backfires on himself, granting Kenji the final kill. However, Reconic soon regained the momentum by taking out Kenji early on, leaving the remaining members to fend for themselves against a competent Troy Yi, invading their side of the map, forcing them out of position. For the next point, Zheng Lin lands a brilliant full treatment that left Zeta Division 1 completely vulnerable, and the lineup crumbles under the pressure. Reconic claims the overall victory here and an upset over Zeta Division 1. The upsets did not end here though, as Sang faces off against Zeta Division 0 for the quarterfinals. Despite that, Zero still manages to pull off some impressive plays, such as this shutdown by Chapi onto Ikaros' surge, assisted by Tensai's tick landing headfirst after headfirst onto Ikaros every time he gets a little too close to the hot zone. Zeta Division 0 surprisingly loses this matchup, which allows Sang to proceed to the semifinals. These strings of upsets certainly stall the momentum for both Zeta Division teams, who likely will be looking to next week to make up for these losses. But this development has no doubt opened up some doors for other teams to make some serious gains for this week. Of those teams, Blood Diamond has certainly capitalized on its opportunity the most. For the quarterfinals matchup, they faced up against Reconic Esports. Blood Diamond was able to make a brilliant recovery after getting wiped, thanks to Ryu's quick thinking on the Gale. But the choice by Troy Yi to use the barley in this round, combined with Zheng Lin's spike having a strong presence on the right-hand side of the map, the total area effect damage and spread made it impossible for Blood Diamond to maintain possession over the ball. Thus, the match ended up going to overtime, which eventually led to a stalemate. Next map though was nowhere near as close. Seeing that this was going to be a hot zone match, Ryu took advantage of Stu's speed zone to make possession of the hot zones easy for Blood Diamond, and Mameshi had an unstoppable run, using the bow to exercise total dominion for this matchup, which unfortunately led to some frustration on Reconic Esports' part. With the majority of the map being swallowed whole by Blood Diamond using this strategy, Blood Diamond handily defeats Reconic Esports and proceeds to the semifinals. Their next opponent was to be Sang, and yet again Blood Diamond proved to be the stronger of the two, though the fight was a lot closer this time around. By swapping wheels for a parasol, Ryu had to dodge a few close calls, but eventually was also able to flex his shooting skills alongside Mameshi's own bell. The next map being knockout was quite the melee between the two teams, with Blood Diamond and Sang trading points against each other, before Blood Diamond ultimately prevails at the end, taking the route to the finals, where they unfortunately lost to Midnight Zephyr 2-1. Still, this performance gives them some of the biggest gains in this week's rankings, climbing up to 3rd overall, while both Zeta Division teams still sit pretty on the top 2, with 1 on top of 0. And that's all for now. Catch us again next week for more highlights of the Snapdragon Pro Series right here.
Thanks so much, Victor Cax, for that breakdown. Now, last but not least, let's turn our attention to Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, where they're rapidly approaching the Split 1 Open Finals, and things are getting very interesting. The ongoing rivalry between Stamina and Tribe Gaming got really hot when the teams clashed in the Cup 6 finals. Brawl Ball started with an intense competition over the midfield. Linane went for a push out, but Drake took him down and, with his dying breath, passed the ball to Yoshi, who was already by the enemy goal. Stamina was up 1-0 in the game versus Tribe, but Tribe appeared to have a very solid defense going. Linane timed his attack perfectly, though, and was able to make an incredible bounce shot to score the goal and take that round for Stamina. Stamina's Skyrix did a sneaky play with his gadget Warp Blast as he directed his super right into the unsuspecting Yoshi, blasting him up and proceeded to deal almost 40% damage onto Tribe Gaming's safe before getting picked off. Tribe Gaming showed once again the strength of Pam as Tom squared up against Stamina, picking off Linane and being ridiculously aggressive. This took their attention away from Yoshi's Bell, who'd been sniping the safe for a good 13 hits before Tom finally got eliminated. Drake came in and cleaned up Stamina, leaving space to destroy Stamina safe and win the cup. The other big story we're following is Humble, who wasn't even looking like they'd qualify for the Open Finals after Week 2, but came roaring back in Cups 5 and 6. It was a rocky start from Humble in Cup 5 as they tried to keep their blue star advantage and run out the timer. But Team Queso's focused fire snagged them an elimination on Boss mere seconds from the end. Get yourself a friend who supports you like how KC supports Cursed. Cursed put pressure on the face of Team Queso, surviving one too many times thanks to the heals coming from KC's Byron. This aggression put Humble way ahead in zone progression and got them the win. Boss pushed up aggressively onto the hot zone, taking hits but dodging enough to survive while being on point. On top of that, he snagged an elimination on Black Sky, giving him reign over the zone. With that comeback in progress, Cursed pushed forward once more, getting a clean double kill while dodging Javi's snipes. This led Humble to win their match against Team Queso and claim their ticket to the Open Finals. As you can see, Humble landed firmly in the middle of the pack after looking much more dicey to qualify after Week 2. Several other teams also had huge performances in Week 3. Stamina is now tied with Craze after earning 110 points, and Tribe Gaming showed up huge, earning 175 points to get them into the top 3 on the leaderboard and a favorable seed in the bracket. And now we have our Open Finals bracket, and there are some insane matches to look forward to. Stamina and FA Siege is a rematch of the Cup 2 finals, which Stamina took 2-0. SK Gaming is falling off right when Humble is picking up steam. I mean, this is such a stacked bracket that the only team on here who hasn't made it to a Cup final is Team Queso. Well, that's it for us here at ESL Studios. As you can see, I've got a live show to get ready for, so we'll just see you next week. Make up!